Hey guys, for the third installment of my How to Play series on Marvel Crisis Protocol, I'm going to be going over the 3 phases of each round in a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol. My name is Nate, and welcome to the Gamers Guild. So, thankfully, Atomic Mass Games kept it pretty simple when it comes to the phases in a round. There's only 3. We've got power, followed by activation, and then the cleanup. For power, it's also pretty self-explanatory. You start the round off by every character gaining a power, and then you resolve any player effects that would occur from things like character cards, or maybe a team tactic card we haven't seen yet, followed by any effects that would occur from a crisis card. Next is the activation phase. Majority of the game is going to be spent here because it's when you and your opponent will be alternating activations. When you do activate a model, it's going to have 2 actions, and it can do in any order and any combination of the following 4 options. Move, attack, shake, and if that miniature has the option to use a superpower as an action, it can do that. So move and attack I'm going to cover in the next video because they would make this one pretty long. Shake, however, is pretty simple, thankfully. Shake allows the character to remove a special condition token like stun or bleed, usually a bad status effect basically. And then Superpower is a little bit more conditional because not all characters have a superpower that takes an action or costs an action. For example, Red Skull using the Cosmic Cube would be a power that does require an action, while things like Hulk's Gamma Leap are not. Another thing that an active model can do is interact with objectives. Not every objective token has the ability to be interacted with, but for the crisis cards that do, like Struggle for the Cube Continues, it will state what interacting with that token does. The rules for interacting with an objective are pretty straightforward. The character needs to be within range 1 or an inch of the objective token and has to spend a power to interact with it. And while you can interact with multiple tokens in one turn, you're not able to interact with the same token more than once per activation. One other thing worth noting is during this phase, if you have more models with activation or daze tokens than your opponent does, you may choose not to activate a model and instead pass. After both players no longer have any models to activate, we move to the cleanup phase. During the cleanup phase, you start by players scoring their victory points from crisis cards, and then you want to mark these on your mission tracker. You then resolve player effects that occur during the cleanup phase, followed by resolving effects from crisis cards. This is why you can still score victory points and then get dazed all at the same time with things like the Struggle for the Cube Continues. Then characters with a daze token remove all damage and special conditions and their daze token and flip over to their injured side. If the player who activated the last character during the activation phase has the priority token, they pass it to the opponent. Then you remove all activation tokens from characters and move into the next round. So, those are the 3 phases of a typical round of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Next I'll be tackling the movement and attack topics and going over the rule sets involved with those. As always guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.